Good afternoon all. We'll start with Nick Collins from Sky Sports News when you're ready.
Wayne, hello. Many congratulations on retaining the England captaincy. Thoroughly deserved. How did Sam tell you?
I just obviously reiterated our continuous captain. So, obviously I'm pleased. It's always nice to captain your country, and I'm looking forward to this new regime.
And do you feel it's kind of unfinished business in terms of, because of what happened at the Euros, that you wanted to be around to kick England on from there?
Well, I think I said before, the European Championships, I enjoy playing in this team. I was excited by the players, and that's the case still. It's something I said right after the tournament. There's been a lot of questions whether should have stopped playing for England. Now is the time come, but I said as soon as the Euros finished I wanted to continue. It's something which I love doing, and I made that aware to Sam when he got the job, and here we are. So I'm looking forward to getting back on the pitch. Obviously bad memories from the last game for England, so it'd be nice to get back out there playing, and hopefully with a positive result.
As you say, you always made it clear how much you want to play for England. How much do you think you can still achieve with England?
Well, time will tell. I think realistically, I know myself, Russia will be my last opportunity to do anything with England, so I'm going to try and enjoy these 2 years, and then hopefully I can end my time playing for England on a high.
I know you're not motivated by records, but next time you step on a pitch with an England shirt, you'll break the record as the most capped outfield player. What will that mean to you to overhaul David Beckham's mark?
Yeah, of course, it would be a proud moment, and every time I've played for England, I keep saying I'm proud to do so, and it's a huge honour for me. So to do it more times than any outfield player would be great, but it's not just about playing, it's about trying to win, and that's what I've tried to do throughout my England career, and what I'll continue to do for the next 2 years.
What can you tell us at this stage about what your role might be? Not necessarily just for this game, but going forward with England.
Yeah, obviously to try and help us win, and I think as captain you obviously have a big role, a big part of that, and I'll continue to do what I've done the 2 years gone as captain, and hopefully try and help the team improve.
I mean, we saw you in midfield in the Euros, but Sam was suggesting that he'll use you in the position that you play for Manchester United, which suggests the number 10 role.
Yeah, well, obviously it's the man's decision. We actually haven't really spoke about that, so I'm sure in the next few days we'll speak about that more. But I'm ready to play, whether it's midfield, number 10 or striker.
And what are your early impressions of Sam Allardyce, a man who's sort of steeped in English football, who's been around in the Premier League for years and years? I mean, obviously you've met him many times, but what sort of impressions can you give us of him? Yeah,
it's only a day, of course, we've been together, but you can see he's a relaxed guy, and since we've been here, the camp's been good. We've only had one training session, so it's just a matter really of getting on the training pitch and seeing what ideas he's going to bring to us, and the players are excited by that. So I'm sure this week we'll get a better idea of how he wants us to play, and then obviously going into the game Sunday, I'm sure he'll work on what he wants to do for that game.
What was that first training session like? I mean, I guess it's pretty lively, but did you get a sense also that the England players are now moving on from Euro 2016 and have put that firmly behind them now?
Well, we have to. I think obviously it was disappointing the way we went out the tournament, and you can't just forget it. Of course, it's still there, but it's a new era for us, new manager. First game on Sunday in the World Cup qualifiers, so we have to move on from it, and I seem to say that after every tournament, but that's what we have to do. Qualifying hasn't been our problem of late, it's been a tournament, so we have to obviously try and qualify, but try and work out how we can go that one step further at tournament level, and I'm sure that's something which, you know, Sam will be looking at over the next, you know, year to 18 months.
The next most senior player to you in terms of caps is Joe Hart. You understand why he might want to switch clubs at this stage, even go abroad to try and keep first team football, to keep his England place in effect?
Of course, and obviously for Joe, he's been in a difficult situation, and knowing the way I do, he wants to play, and so I think the best option for him was to go somewhere where he knows he's going to play, because he's the same, he loves playing for England, and I'm sure for him to play for England, he would have been have to be playing, you know, first team football. So I think it's the move which obviously he wants. So I wish him luck in that move, and I'm sure that will benefit England.
He took some criticism at Euro 2016, but do you still see him as England's number one? Because up until then he was being talked about as one of the top 3 keepers in the world, and then suddenly it seems to have been a big about turn. But do you still have every faith in him as being England's continuing number one? Yeah,
of course, and I think, you know, not just Joe, we've got Fraser and Tom Eaton, who are very good goalkeepers, and, you know, it's Sam's decision who he plays, and but Joe's obviously doing everything he can to make that a decision which sways his way, because he's a fantastic goalkeeper. Obviously, as I said, he's been in a difficult situation with his club, but I don't really know too much about that. I'm sure in time you'll be able to ask Joe that, but I'm pleased for him. He's getting a move, and he's going to be playing.
Ross Barkley, I suppose, was the surprise omission. I mean, you've watched him close hand over the years developing, and many people have suggested he might eventually be your successor one day. Do you think being left out this time will make him bounce back even stronger, perhaps?
Again, you'll have to ask him. I'm sure it'll be disappointing for him, because I'm sure it's always disappointing if you're not selected for the squad. And knowing him quite well, I'm sure he'll get his head down and work he's under new manager at Everton, and keep trying to play well and try and, you know, make sure he's in the next squad.
And one new face, which is always good to see after a tournament, Michael Antonio. It's a great story, isn't it, coming through from non-league like that? What have you made of him and his start to the Premier League this season?
Yeah, obviously he's a very good player, and he's done well at West Ham last season, and particularly moving positions, playing in a different position to probably what he would like to play. He done really well, especially when we played them, and then, you know, we started the season well this season. So I think it's a deserved call up, and I'm sure he's anxious to get out and get on the training pitch and try and show Sam what he can do at this level.
Finally from me, Wayne. Sam Allardyce has a reputation for being a pragmatist, getting the best out of players. Does that sound like just the kind of recipe England need at this moment in time to move on and become successful again? Yeah,
well, I think if he gets the best out of the players we've got, then we'll do well, because the ability is there, the talent is there with the players. It's just a matter of us, you know, doing well in the tournament. We've lost one qualifying game in 15, so we're not that far away. We're a small margin away, but it's that margin which keeps tipping us up.
Wayne, Ollie Foster from BBC. You talked about wanting to continue straight away, you know, after that horrible night in Nice, but in those days and weeks when there was no England manager, did you worry about your own position, whether you'd be given the opportunity to carry on?
No, I'm sure if you look back at what I said I'm available for selection, so it weren't me saying I want to continue, I'm going to continue, because that's what I want to do. I said if selected I'm available, which obviously I'm selected, so I made my mind up before the Euros, before I actually went to the Euros, whether we done well or didn't do well, that I was going to continue after the tournament. And so over the last few weeks, when I had my holidays and I'm back at Manchester United, I've had nothing to think about in terms of England.
No, I'm not saying, I'm going to continue. It was all down to the next manager's choice, but whilst there's no manager and because the team underperforms so badly, you always must have at the back of your mind whether the new man in charge will go a completely different way.
Yeah, again, and that's why I said if selected. So I made it aware to everyone that I was available for selection, and that of course is dependent on the manager's decision. And you know, I'm pleased the manager's come in and he's put me in the squad and give me the opportunity to continue as captain.
So we sit here again. I think this is going to be your 7th full qualifying campaign. What gives you optimism that this... England usually breezes through qualifying, don't they, and then sort of come unstuck at the major tournaments. What gives you optimism that this can be any different?
Well, if we're not thinking that, then it's pointless us turning up to play, because you have to believe in yourself, in your teammates, and in the ability we've got in the squad, and that's something which Sam Allardyce will look at, I'm sure, over the next year and try and find out why we keep tripping up. I said before the Euros, it's a young squad. I've been involved in squads with very experienced players who've done the same thing, and we've tripped up at that final hurdle. So it's something which hasn't just happened over the last, in the last tournament. It's something which has continually happened, which the managers haven't seemed to find out why, the players haven't seemed to find out why, and that's something which Sam Allardyce will be looking at to try and see if there is any reasons why that's happening and why we can't go that step further.
But come Russia, you've just said that will be the end for yourself. How did you sort of come to that decision, and does that put you in a slightly different mindset going into this 2 years?
No, not at all. I think I've had a fantastic international career so far. Played a lot of games and I've enjoyed every minute. But at some point, it's going to come to an end, whether it's 2 years, 4 years time. But I think I'm still I'm not old. I'm 30 years of age, and come Russia, I feel that will be the time for me to say goodbye to international football, and my mind's made up. Obviously, that's down to Sam Allardyce again in terms of over the next 2 years, but that will be my last tournament, and if selected, then I'll have enjoyed it. Some highs, some lows, but an immensely proud man.
Finally, it's going to be pretty much the same core of players that we saw in France. Sam's only made 5 changes to this initial squad. I'm sure new faces will surely force their way in. But from what you saw from working with this group of players across the summer, how do you see them developing over the next 2 years?
Again, there's a lot of it is down to the clubs as well. They're with the clubs a lot of the time, so I'm sure the players will develop at club level, and at international level. It's early days. We've only been in the squad for a day, and we want to find out how Sam wants us to play in certain games, and that's why we're all interested for the training session this afternoon. We're all looking forward to it, to see exactly what type of ideas or type of training sessions he's going to do.
Hi Wayne, Ian Payne from ITV News. Obviously you just want to play for England, but the captaincy is the bonus. How important is being captain for you personally?
No, it's important, of course, and whether I was captain or not, I was still going to be available for selection, and I'd still be the same around the training camp with the players, whether that was the case I was captain or not. So, but of course it's a huge honour to captain your country, and again I'm thankful for Sam for giving me that opportunity.
Now you've said that Russia's going to be your last tournament. You'll be 32. Could anyone ever persuade you to change your mind, do you think?
I think it's still 2 years away, and but yeah, I started playing football professionally when I was 16. International football when I was 17, so it's 15 years. International football is a lot of years, and I think that'll be, in my eyes, probably the right time to finish.
And finally, for me, we as football fans, as England fans, we've all been scratching our heads saying what went wrong against Iceland, why didn't we perform, we had this great qualifying. Have you any idea why the team didn't perform to how you all expected?
No, and I think we're really talking about one game. It was the Iceland game. I think the other games we were the better team in all the games. Unfortunate in the Russia game and not so much the Slovakia game, but unfortunate not to win them games. And we had one bad 90 minutes where we didn't perform, and it's cost us. So whether that's concentration levels or other things, but it was just we're gutted, we're disappointed the way we performed, and it's something which now with the qualifying campaign coming up, we really have to try and put that to the back of our minds and focus on this campaign coming up.
Just pass it down to Gabriel Clark.
Hi, Gabriel Clark, ITV, nice to see you. You will only be 32 in a couple of years. Is part of your decision to retire down to the fact that you feel it will help you prolong your club career?
Not really, no. I think obviously I've seen players who've retired from international football, and for the sake of 2 or 3 days off through the week, is it really going to make that much difference? I'm not too sure. So again, it's something which it's really, after the World Cup in Russia, I'd be looking at the next tournament to be 34. So I think it's the right time for me to really stop playing for England.
And just finally, you're obviously getting to know Sam the manager, but you're facing teams. What's the one key quality you think that he'll bring to the England setup?
Again, that's something you have to ask him. I haven't worked with him before, and you've only been here a day, so as I keep saying, I'm excited to see which ideas he's going to bring to this team, and the ability we've got. He's got options in the squad, so it's always exciting when you get a new manager. But I think he's going to have to try and get us to forget about the tournament gone and move on and focus on this qualifying campaign, because it's an important one for us, and we all want to win, we all want to be successful, from the managers right down to the last player.
Thank you very much. We'll now head through to radio broadcasters.
Cheers.